Hi guys, welcome back to Flipping Motors UK. So today we're running a couple of little errands, dropped the Jaguar off for some paint work. We're going to be getting that sorted, and then I'm getting a train up to Newcastle as I've bought a Kia Ceed from BCA Newcastle. Catch up with you soon. There we are guys, the Kia was that cheap. I've decided to get a meal deal from M&S. So that gives you an idea, £6. And we've actually ordered an Uber Comfort. I don't know what the difference is. Do you get a better car that's not a Prius? Apparently I get a pick the temperature, which is quite nice. But anyway, we're going to get a Newcastle soon. I need to stop spoiling myself, so we'll see what the Kia's like when we get to BCA. So apparently Ahmed is on his way in an Audi A6. I think that's worth an extra £2 over a Prius, to be totally honest. But you can even pick the conversation. Oh, here's the Audi, it's an S-Line as well, lovely. You can even pick the conversation. I think that's pretty good, to be fair. Definitely worth £2. Right, the Kia's made it back. I haven't had a chance to show you around it yet. I'm going to get it cleaned, and there's a couple of tyres to get fitted on it, but I'm going to show you around it, see what our thoughts are. But we are a bit pushed for time today, so as much as I like doing YouTube, the main thing is making a bit of money, isn't it? So I've got to get the car all sorted, get it up for sale, but I will show you around as I'm cleaning it up and sorting it my unit. For now, we are currently at the tyre place in Darlington. It's a place to some decent, pretty well priced Part 1 tyres. So I'm going to be getting 2 Part 1s fitted to it, as the front ones are about 2mm, which is it's too close to the legal limit. We need at least 3mm on, really, don't they? So we'll be getting that sorted, and I'll show you around the car very shortly. But it's a good sign, it's made it home. I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. Should be a very quick flip. There we are, it's all cleaned. But I did leave with a question: how did the Uber Premium go? Well, like I say, it was an Audi over a Toyota Auris or Toyota Prius, which was a good start. Driver, fantastic. The conversation, I mean, I didn't put anything in the box, but it was pretty much typical taxi driver. I was made aware that there is going to be some riots in Newcastle today, which is fantastic. So we're all trying to stay away from the town centre, and there was me outside the station, ready to pick a car up, totally unaware. Anyway, enough of me, let's have a look around this little... So, it's back, and I think this one is going to be a quick little flip. So it's all been cleaned up. I haven't bothered polishing it. There's probably a couple of little stone chips I want to touch in quick. White is a pretty easy colour to have a little play about with. Doesn't often need polishing, doesn't make a massive difference if you do polish it. But these little bits here I will be going around, because stone chips, especially if they start rusting, stand out like a sore thumb. Car is in very nice condition for its age. We have just put 2 new Part 1 tyres on the front. I never used to do this. I always used to just get 2 new tyres, but I thought, like, if I'm halving my costs, cars like under £1,500, does it really matter that the tyres aren't brand new, as long as they're pressure tested and safe? I mean, this one here, it's a Primewell, which is like a medium to decent budget. There's about 5.5mm of tread on there, so we've got no worries there. Nice straight looking little car. You get the odd very minor dink, but overall it's in really nice condition. Let's have a look towards the back now. They are a very bland looking car, these little Kias, aren't they? Nice and clean in there, free from any stains. There is actually a spare wheel in here as well. There we go. I haven't even cleaned that either, so it's been pretty well kept. I think it gives you an idea. No parcel shelf, but again, these sub £1,500 cars, are you bothered? No. I do need to get a cloth and wipe this up for, which the valeters have failed to acknowledge. Again, down the driver's side, it all is in pretty good condition. Tyres on the back are getting down. I think they're about 3mm. A little bit perished, but I'm not too worried about it. Say this one's probably more 4. The other side was definitely about 3, but sub £1,500 cars, how far do you go? You can't be doing preventative maintenance and still making any profit, can you? As long as it's safe, ready for the new owner, in my opinion. Smells lovely. Just give it a good clean out inside, put all the vinyl on the interior as well. I haven't had to scrub any of the seats or anything. This is how they are. There was a couple of little marks I've got it drying off in the front, but overall I think it's in pretty good condition. Could have been an older driver, possibly younger. Has had little mirrors there to help with the parking. Another stone chip I'm going to get touched in before I picture the car. And here's the other part one tyre I've had on. This one's, I'd say, probably 6.5mm of land sale. Not bad for 35 quid fitted. It's keeping costs down. There should be a decent chunk of profit in this one. And like I say, it drives absolutely faultlessly. While it was up on the ramp getting the tyres done, I did have a little look underneath, and it seems in really good condition. So all the suspension arms are good, the brake discs look nearly new, so do the rear ones. I had a look at them. There's nothing glaringly obvious that this car's going to need, which is a good sign. And it has cleaned up really nice, all the plastics and everything as well. It is of course just a base model. It's only got the wheel trims and the plastic mirror caps. Inside it's not too bad. Again, it's cleaned up really nice. I'll get some nice pictures of this car, get it advertised. I'm not going to ask a lot of money for it. It is just going to be one of my quick flips, this one. How many miles has a little key done? That smells beautiful, by the way. Whatever air freshener's been used. This is where a lot of the keys fall short. All good. Handbrake's good, it holds nicely. It's only done 97,000 miles, which I think is pretty low. It starts and drives absolutely fine. The engine sounds healthy. There's certainly nothing wrong with that. They are a pretty gutless engine, to be totally honest. They're only about 90 something horsepower, I think, but it is what it is, isn't it? It's a nice little car for somebody. Cleaned up really nice. So you've got this, there you go, stereo in there. You've also got your auxiliary and your USB down there, as well as your 12 volt socket and cigarette lighter. Plenty of storage. You've got air conditioning. I've tested that and it actually works really well. It's blowing nice and cold. You always have to get a vent straight for pictures, don't you? Sorry, that might just be me, mightn't it? On smooth as well. But yeah, it seems a really nice car. Everything seems to work as it should. All the windows as well. Yeah, I'm fairly happy with that. There was a couple of little marks on this seat. It is a little bit damp, so I could do with drying that off a bit, as it currently looks like someone's had an accident. And then get the pictures done then. Okay. But yeah, overall, really nice little car. Doesn't seem to be any faults with it at all. And I think if I put this up at, say, I was thinking probably 1,500 really, but it retails at about 1,995. But it's a nice car, it drives well, it's got good history, which I'll show you very shortly. But it doesn't owe me that much. I paid £300 for this car plus the fees. £300. Believe it or not, they actually had an amber marker for the engine running, but I don't know why. I've had one of these before and I thought it sounded a little bit tappy. They always do these 1.4 Kia engines, but I had a funny feeling this one would be alright, and it looks like I was totally right. It has come up really nice. The engine sounds fine, it drives fine. So I think 1,250 quid and this will be a great little car for someone. 1,250 quid. To the viewers down south, I don't think you could even find a car anywhere near this good for 1,250 with MOT. It's got about 4.5–5 months. No advisories done on the last one, so I'm not too worried about giving it a fresh test. It's got excellent history. A lot of it actually being from Kia. So there you go, you've got first one border cars, which is Kia. Second and third border cars again, Kia in Carlisle. Went to Kia in Windermere, very nice, lovely part of the world. I was there last night actually picking up my new machine polisher. Well, a Lake District, it was more south of Kendal I was. There you go, Windermere Kia again in 2016 and 2017. So it did slow down a little bit, so we've had Central 4 cars, wherever that is, specialist service in 2019, and then we've got this one here in by RM Automotive in Whitehaven, again Cumbria. in 2022, and that was only about 10,000 miles ago. I'll be honest with you, I probably should be giving it another service, but if you have a little look at the oil, which I can show you, but that would be very boring, it's like new. The oil is golden. It was on the maximum level as well. I don't think there's any need to, I don't think someone's not going to buy it because it's not been serviced at this age and mileage and price point. The oil is absolutely fine. It's nice and golden, but I think it's time now to go and get some decent pictures, see how it comes up, get the car up for sale. We'll probably just be using Facebook Marketplace. That seems to be the most popular one locally here in the northeast, and then from there see how quickly it sells. The last one I sold really quickly, which I was surprised at. The i30s always seem to hang around longer than the Kia Ceeds for some reason. I think they look even more dreary, but there's nothing wrong with a Kia Ceed, is there? It just ticks the boxes. It's not really that interesting, but it does the job, doesn't it? And this seems a really nice example. But like I say, for 1,250 quid, we'll go and get it pictured, see how it comes up. Well, that's frustrating. I can't find my white paint. No, I'm not going to use that, even though it is tempting, but it is sadly a bit late to be sorting all that now. I did give this a little tidy up. Still needs finishing off from the last video. Going to paint all the doors white, freshen it up a bit. It's cleaned up really well. Just looks a little bit brighter really, doesn't it? There you go. Nice and clean, just need to get the floor all sorted. But this sink's cleaned up a lot better than it was. Do you remember that? That was absolutely grimy. Right, let's go and get some pictures done, get this car to market. There we go, the little Kia is certainly looking its best now, isn't it? Even after just a quick clean and the right products to get it looking right. I personally like a bit of tyre shine, Auckland vinyl on the interior. They're not too bad looking cars. They're just not the best, are they? Well, a couple of pictures, normally from these angles, should set the car off. Then you've got your side on angle as well. I use this box, it's nice and quiet. There's always space, even when you do have the coaches for the holiday makers. Why I'd want to come to Darlington, I have no idea. But yeah, this is your major shot, because this is probably going to be the face of the car on Auto Trader, what everyone's going to see. So it needs to look right, needs to be on the right angle, nice and clean. I think we've done a good job of a little Kia, haven't we? There you go. I think we're still finishing off that drying on the seat, so if there's any areas like that you kind of want to avoid, pictures. I mean, that steering wheel, it's a plasticky steering wheel, isn't it? I always like one like this, and then you'd go around the other side. This is all personal preference. These are the pictures I know works. I always like one of the boot as well. People seem to like that, especially on a family car. Good picture. Got the boot, I always have one very similar to this. And then the final one I like, and it's like a bird's eye view of the dashboard. A lot of dealers use this picture, like this. Snap, and there you go. That's the main pictures you need if you want to do one of all the bumper corners and that. It might be an idea for the Auto Trader, so people know if they are buying a less, well, obviously to use car, it's going to be less than perfect. We can see there might be some minor marks on the car. Ones of all the tyres, alloy wheels, just to show if they're scuffed as well. But yeah, we should be able to flip this one. Let's have a sit inside. We'll summarise the costs, and I want to mention something to a few of you guys who might be thinking of doing the same thing as me. There we go, guys. So, summarise of costs. The car cost me £496, including the fees of £300 purchase. I was charging myself a £10 consumables line. I also charge £10 for a valet. It costs £7, but obviously I've got some products that I have to renew every now and then. And also the 2 part worn tyres cost me £70. To collect the car, build up of the premium Uber, and a train to Newcastle, which is only about £7. I think it added up to about £26. I've put it down for £25. So the car is owing me just over £600 at the moment. If I can sell this for 1,250 as it is, even if someone comes and makes an offer and says, I'll give you 1150 because it's due a service, or 1,100 quid, I'd probably even listen to that, to be totally honest. It's a nice, easy £500 profit, and then that can be invested into something else. Flip this car and turn it into a different one. The quicker you're in and out, sometimes you'll get some people, and they will sit on cars, stubborn. They will not shift £100, £200 to get a deal on, even for a car that's like hanging around a bit. In my opinion, you don't want to come across as weak, but fresh money is better than money that, well, it's just sat there, isn't it? But one thing I did want to mention to you guys is this video almost makes it out to be a bit easy. The car's got nothing wrong with it. I'm probably going to make about 600 quid off it. It's not always that easy, guys, especially when you're buying blind from the auction, because I do it on swipe right, a bit like Tinder. Swipe right for the cars. You get a basic report. This one was pretty accurate. It told me I was going to need some new tyres and a side light bulb, actually. I've got to head back to the unit soon and do that, actually. Yeah, it needs a side light bulb as well. But there's a lot of cars the reports aren't accurate. You can't really claim on them. But it's like a gambling addiction. Honestly, buying cars from the auction, flipping motors, is a gambling addiction. Sometimes you win big, sometimes you invest a lot and lose a lot. I've lost 4 figures on cars before that I probably shouldn't have bought. But the main thing is you need to have a bit of a cash pot so you can afford to make these small mistakes to start with. If you have £1,000, don't be spending £1,000 on a car and expecting to just flip it straight on for £2,000, 1,500 quid. You might have to spend another £1,000 to get it to that standard, and then sell it for 1,800 quid. You're losing 200 quid. You have to be able to afford to do that. So never invest everything. If you've got £1,000, buy a car for £500. Hopefully it needs a little bit of prep, nothing too daft, and then you can maybe flip it on for 1,500. But don't over commit to whatever you do, guys, because it's, like I say, it's like gambling addiction. You don't want to put yourself in a sticky situation through a little side hustle, something you're trying to make a bit of money on. But this Kia, luckily, seems to be quite the opposite for me, unless I drive home and all the oil comes out the bottom end of the engine. you never know. Expect the worst. I had a Octavia a few weeks back. I drove it back from the auction. Luckily, the car made me a bit of money. Really nice car, but it overheated on the way home. Well, to be fair, I had to pay recovery costs. Luckily, Anthony from Budget Bangers, he was actually passing by. He was picking up a car he'd purchased, so I got a lift back, but it just absolutely ruined my day. Prepare for that, and if you get a car that makes you a bit of money, fantastic. Thanks very much again, guys. Hope you enjoyed this short video, and for any aspiring car traders, hopefully it's a bit of a push for you, because there is money to be made. You just have to be careful. And to be honest with you, same as Lee from Car UK, especially for beginners, I definitely recommend buying from a physical auction so you can at least have a look around the car first, rather than trusting in one of BCA's checks, which aren't always that accurate. Alright? Thanks very much. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care now. Bye-bye. Sorry if that wasn't the end. I just wanted to let you know, so for the long-time subscribers, do you remember the Mercedes CLK that me and my mate bought after a few beers on a Super Sunday? We didn't really make much of it, but we had a bit of a laugh. If you haven't, go and watch a video anyway. It was half decent, to be fair, I think. But that old Mercedes 51 plate CLK, the lad's just messaged me there. Thank you so much, he says. I've done 10,000 miles in it. We've currently just drove it down to Santander in Spain. I've had a tow bar fitted, I've had it serviced. He basically just says, cheers mate, you've done me a solid. If I can get some pictures, I will, and I'll put them there on a post so you can see it. But I want to see this Merc in Spain, because we literally bought it as a laugh, and the lad absolutely loves it. Anyway, thanks again. This really is the end now. Take care. Bye-bye.